Crypto.com coin is a speculative as well as a sensible investment. If you're interested in blockchain, give CRO a shot. At this point, it's not news that cryptocurrencies aren't exactly having a good time. Bitcoin, BTC, lost almost 9% of its market value in the preceding week on the final weekend before Thanksgiving, and just a few hours before the Qatar Grand Prix. In comparison, upstart Crypto.com coin, CRO, has soared 55.5%. Let's be honest. Even if proponents of blockchain assets wax poetic about the volatility of cryptos, how they may transform you into a prince or a beggar depending on the capricious hands of an analog clock, we rarely see 50% swings or greater over a 7-day period. To be sure, it does happen, but when it does, it is unquestionably newsworthy. Naturally, what distinguishes Crypto.com coin even more is its inverse link to the Bitcoin price. For years, the impediment to wider virtual currency integration was that the broader market tended to follow BTC. In other words, it's difficult for a cryptocurrency project to gain trust because its underlying tokens will eventually resemble Bitcoin. Consider what would happen if the S&P 500 index tracked the ebb and flow of a single stock. Eventually, the entire industry of investment analysis would implode. Earnings? Are you familiar with fundamental and technical analysis? You would not need to bother, simply examine the one stock and move on. However, given Crypto.com coin's divergence trend, it is worth studying. Obviously, the majority of crypto enthusiasts will ask whether CRO can maintain its trend. If this were another moment, I'm sure I'd be hesitant to respond affirmatively. It is not the first time that some cryptocurrencies have managed to trade against Bitcoin, only to revert to parity with the rest. Nonetheless, I retain some optimism that CRO will succeed where others have failed. Crypto.com coin is a sole source of revenue. According to CoinMarketCap.com, CRO is the original cryptocurrency token of the Crypto.com chain, a decentralized, open-source blockchain established by the Crypto.com payment, trading, and financial services organization. Additionally, the famous website notes, Crypto.com chain is one of the products in Crypto.com's array of solutions aimed at accelerating the global use of cryptocurrencies as a means of strengthening personal control over money, preserving user data, and safeguarding users' identities. The CRO blockchain is primarily used to power Crypto.com Pay's mobile payment application. Apart from semantics, Crypto.com coin appears to be another decentralized payment and financial services ecosystem. However, it differentiates itself from the competitors through what I refer to as a business-first strategy. As I previously stated in my analysis of Crypto.com coin, the underlying platform secured a 5-year sponsorship deal with Formula One for more than $100 million. What makes this move more stunning is that F1, the world's finest car racing league, NASCAR fans, is a rapidly growing sport. Indeed, CBS News said that Formula One saw the biggest growth of any professional sporting entity in 2020, with a 99% rise in engagements across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, citing data from USA Today. Given that more than 8 in 10 Americans acquire their news from digital devices, having a strong online presence benefits Crypto.com coin significantly. Indeed, F1 bears considerable weight not only in the United States, but in the majority of the world. Even better, the racing championship has enormous ambitions in growing countries like China. To that aim, Formula One, and by extension Crypto.com coin, will benefit from Alfa Romeo's acquisition of Guan Yu Zhou, the league's first Chinese driver. True, China has a harsh position on cryptocurrencies, but you can't stop a good idea, especially one that is consistently promoted. Price is correct. Additionally, a critical element regarding Crypto.com coin is that the price is reasonable. Despite CRO's meteoric rise, individual tokens are still available for less than 64 cents at the time of press. Such statistics are worthless in the equity sector. To determine a stock's overall value proposition, you consider aspects such as growth and earnings. It's the same concept with cryptos, except for the following: Crypto.com coin appeals to a global audience. As such, one cannot presume that individuals who watch Formula One races can afford the same products as Americans and Europeans. However, by placing CRO on the low-priced menu, it appeals to our psychological makeup. We prefer to own entire units rather than fractional shares of something. Thus, the international community might feel wealthy simply by holding CRO, even if it is not. To the people who created the token, though, does this really matter? To them, it's all about expanding their business.